Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another layout for my Creative Scrapbook Kit Club, and today I am using the thickers as my main inspiration. I pulled out the title right now, and I have used this title and also the thickers in the different color. I can't remember if they came in white or another different color, but I have used these and love these words, and I just find that they make great titles and also help you with a layout that you might not necessarily think of to make on your own, I guess, without a prompt. And you know, sometimes for me, these layouts that I use with a prompt can be some of my most fun layouts. And I know that I would have liked to have had layouts of me as a child with this. So what I decided to do this time was scrapbook this picture when my daughter started middle school, you know, right before we took her back to school shopping, and I took a picture of the clothes that she chose. And it was just a huge difference in one small year, you know, what she chose, which, you know, I don't think that you'll be able to see in the picture so much, they were all neutrals except for that pink scarf. You know, like a black or white. The tops had lace detail to them, and it was just really neat to see how she really wanted to have things that mixed well with one another so that she would be able to change her look. And so I just wanted to document this, and I just thought how fun it would be for her to look back, you know, several years from now and see at that time in her life what her interest or what her clothing choices were. I know that if I could look back at mine at her age, or, you know, in 6th grade versus, you know, where she is now, I just think that that would be so neat. So that is how I decided on where to go with this. And I wanted to use up some of the scraps that I had left over from just, you know, various offcuts. And you know, I like the look of the several different patterns right behind the main focal photo, and so I thought that the floral and the polka dot was just a fun little bit different something for me, and I liked the way that it was looking. So the teal really brings out the teal flowers in that smaller floral piece, and I wanted to use that to kind of ground everything and also to have a home for my clusters. So I have been on a distressing the edge of my paper layers kick, and I just pulled it out to distress these edges as well. I like either, you know, sewing or inking my edges, or, you know, now it's distressing my edges. I just have fun doing something a little bit different to them, and I just feel like it just adds that little touch that you might not necessarily see the first time that you glance at a layout, but it's one of the fun things that makes you go back and look at the layout again, and you're like, oh, look at that. I didn't see that the first time. And for me, those are the fun details that I like to add. So at this point, what I'm trying to figure out is, excuse me, where I want to put the title. Do I want to put it up top? Do I want to put it below and then just have it go right into the journaling? And, you know, I still haven't figured out which way I'm going to go. So if I can't make a decision, I will try to go on to something else. And I knew that I wanted to layer some craft foam underneath my photo just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I just took my Tim Holtz stapler and just stapled the layers. I didn't feel like that they needed to be extra neat. You know, I liked the offset of the layers and just wanted to leave it just like it was. So I did turn up the edges a little bit as well, just so that when you looked at the layers, you could really see the edging, you know, the detail of the distressing, and I just thought that turned out really cool. So I had pulled some things that I thought I might use and put that in that white bucket. I was in a creative frenzy at the look of my desk, and so I just have to laugh. I try to clean up between each of my projects, because I have found that I'd love to have my desk a little bit straighter, but my desk is not quite a desk, and I really need a desk. So it easily gets out of control, and there's just times that I just feel like I have got to keep going before I get this mess under control, because I'm in the zone, and it doesn't bother me that much, which is funny because when I'm at work, everything has a place, and God forbid you move it, I will move it right back. So it's just funny to see the difference of my work versus my creative atmospheres. So when I looked at the chipboard sheet, it had a little, I guess, a date stamp that said captured on it, and I thought that would be the perfect choice. And even though the handle's red and there really isn't any red in the photo, and I'm using pink, I really thought that they just worked well with one another. I'm one of those that has a hard time mixing red and pink, and I find that if it's already on a pattern that I am using in the paper, that I can easily do it. And if it's not, I just have a hard time. And I don't know whether or not it's just because, it was always beat into me at an early age, red and pink clash, which we know that they can, but they don't always. Or if it's just because I haven't quite figured out the tones that work well with one another. But when I find it already on a piece of paper, it makes it so much easier for me. So at this point, I finally decided I want to take the photo cluster up to like the top 2/3 of the layout. And I am going to make sure that the anchoring piece is somewhat straight, because I am going to do some journaling underneath the title once I get it adhered. Now, I do have close-ups of the layout without the journaling, and I'm also going to add it with the journaling just so that you can see the difference in how the white space changes with your journaling. Since this layout is for a design team, I always like to take pictures before I add my journaling onto the page for a couple of reasons. First of all, sometimes the journaling may be a little bit more personal that I don't really want everybody to see, but most importantly is that if I mess it up, then I feel like I'm stuck, because here I have had a layout that was nice, and then I just messed it up. And, I think there's a little bit more of a certain pressure when you're creating for someone else. So that is why I've included both, just so that you can see. And I just love the way that this page came out. So I'm going to go ahead and get things adhered down. And I have to say, I'm not sure what happened to some of this footage. I don't know if I thought the camera was on and it wasn't, and I didn't catch it. There's just a few little details that are missed at the end, but they are shown in the close-ups. And it's basically just the finishing of the cluster at the bottom and the top, and with little things like distressing the edges of the you can see that I'm doing it for the bottom right now, but I go ahead and I bring up the same papers and do a smaller cluster at the top, just to help everything have a very central focus on the page. And then I had been messing around with a yellow butterfly, and for whatever reason that didn't make it on as well, and that just ends up in one of the clusters. So if you just look at the cluster, or if you look at the close-ups at the end, you can see how the final clusters were embellished. I have to say that I have really enjoyed working with this line. The colors are a little bit on the, I don't want to say brighter side for me, because I do like to work with bright colors every now and then. I don't know if it's the tones, I don't know if it's the red and the black mixed, but it has definitely, got me out of my comfort zone, and I have enjoyed the pages that I've made, even though, they're not necessarily things that I would have normally pulled for myself when I would, shopping for me. So I just wanted to take a minute and thank all of my subscribers for your likes and your comments. They truly make my day, and I appreciate them, and I try to get back to each one. And I would like to say a welcome to my new subscribers. I enjoy putting out these videos, and I hope that you are enjoying them as well. And if there's ever anything you'd like me to try or see me do, let me know. You know, I'm always up for a challenge. So that's it for me. I hope you guys have a great day. And again, like I said, the close-ups have the best shots of the clusters. So I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. You guys take care. See you soon. Bye.